What's going on, guys? It's Pat again. I hope your quarantine is going well. I know mine's going okay. It's kind of stressful, but I wanted to make another video for you today, just going over some fat loss tips. So these are just 5 things to keep in mind if fat loss is your goal. I know there's a ton of bad information out there on the internet as far as fat loss, different diets that you might want to try, different training protocols, but really you want to keep it as simple as you possibly can. And that's my goal with these 5 tips today. So without further ado, let's get into number 1, which is for fat loss, you want to have a negative energy balance. And what does this mean? All this means is you have to be burning off more calories than you consume every day. And I wouldn't worry too much about this. The most basic thing I can say about it is try to exercise a little bit more and eat a little bit less. You know, if you go to a calorie calculator online or use MyFitnessPal or anything like that, it's going to give you a basal metabolic rate. That's the amount of calories that you need every day just for your body to function. So your body, let's say it's 2,000 calories, for example. That means that your body is going to need 2,000 calories just to maintain its normal everyday functions, like just keeping you alive, right? Now, if you're active on top of that, which a lot of you probably are, obviously right now doing the body weight stuff at home, if you are active on top of that, you have to consume more calories to maintain your body weight because you're burning off more energy, right? But the key here is, if you're looking to lose fat, you need to consume less. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. You know, you can exercise more, you can eat a little bit less, do a combination of both. But that's number 1, first and foremost. That's what you need no matter what, a negative energy balance. Number 2 is protein. So when you're eating, right, you want to make sure you're hitting your protein numbers for sure, because you want to make sure that you hang on to your lean body mass that you have, the muscle that you've built up, and not lose that instead of fat. So the only way to guarantee that is to make sure you eat enough protein. Now, like I said in the one video, you know, you can eat fats and carbs pretty much wherever it's going to fit into your calorie range. Protein is the only macronutrient you really have to worry about because unlike carbs and fats, it's used to build muscle mass and repair cells. So it has vital functions that the other two, fats and carbs can't perform. You can eat 2,000 calories a day or whatever your calorie goal is of protein and you'd be fine because you would still build and maintain the muscle mass, but the excess protein through a process called gluconeogenesis would get converted into glucose for your cells to use for energy. So protein is the most important macronutrient. Just make sure you're getting enough of it every day. Number 3, resistance training. And we do a pretty good job of this at the gym. And hopefully you're keeping up with it at home the last couple of weeks. But this I put before cardio because I think it's actually more important than cardio. Because with resistance training, you're going to be building more lean body mass, like I already said with protein, right? Make sure your protein numbers are up. But when you're resistance training, you have more lean body mass, right? So what that means is you're going to be burning more energy at rest than somebody who has less muscle mass than you. Muscle is metabolically active, so that means that it takes energy to hang on to, unlike fat cells, which just sit there and don't do anything, right? So make sure you're still resistance training. Number 4 is cardio. Cardio is still super important, just because it's just good for you in many different ways. It's good for your heart, it's good for recovery, but it's also good for trying to stay in that calorie deficit that I mentioned with number 1, right? So if you go for a half-hour run and you burn 400 or 500 calories, that gives you a little bit of extra wiggle room or allows you to be even further in a negative energy balance to help with fat loss. And number 5, this is just a little tip. Don't drink your calories, right? I know nobody wants to hear that, but it is important. Now, I'm not saying never have a beer, never have a brownie or a birthday cake when it's your birthday. Still do that stuff. You gotta go and live, man, right? But don't drink your calories. Don't eat excess crap every day if you don't have to. Now, I brought this out for this presentation just to show you guys. This is Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. Awesome beer. There's probably about 300 calories in this thing. I don't really care. It's 9% alcohol. You get a good buzz from it. I love it, right? Very tasty. Very citrusy. I just brought that out to show you guys an example. You know, like you can still drink it, but stay away from like cream and sugar in your coffee every day. That quickly adds up. Orange juice, any kind of juice, especially if it's not from natural sources, that's just going to spike your blood sugar and give you a ton of extra calories. In general, don't drink your calories. Have a beer now and then, but make sure it's now and then and not every single day, multiple times a day, and you'll be fine. So, those are my 5 tips, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave a like and share it if you did, and I'll talk to you guys next time.